I must not ask that you not bring the word of this to any others at the Rising Stones, especially Flamine. I will brief Tataru on what we learned, as well as Urianger. He may have insight into what the word told us. As for you, Meteor, after all you have done, I would say you have earned a rest.
I just took one.
But speaking of well-earned rewards, I received a missive from Sir Aymeric while you were away. It would seem he is planning a ceremony of some sort, and would like you to attend. He did not divulge the details, preferring instead to explain in person. Mayhaps you should pay him a visit.
All right.
Master Durblander. The Lord Commander left instructions that you were to be shown inside.
Excellent. I'm ready. Hey, buddy. How's the ribs?
A pleasure to see you again, my friend. I take it you received our invitation. Good, good. You of all people should be present.
Why me of all people?
When the true brothers of the faith seized control of the vault, I feared the worst. Yet in adversity were we blessed with the promise of peace between man and dragon through Vidofnir's timely rescue of an innocent child. Timely, I say, though miraculous or providential might better describe the event. The gods themselves could not have devised a more fitting symbol of hope. Needless to say, we could scarce let such an opportunity pass us by. Which is why I set about making formal arrangements for a peace conference between our peoples. You and yours have done more to bring us together than any, and it is only right that you attend. But I confess that is not the only reason I would be glad to have you there. Given Nidhogg's implacable opposition to the peace, it is possible that he and his followers may attempt to disrupt proceedings, in which event your presence would be a comfort to all in attendance. Pray understand, I have no wish to invite the worm's ire, but if our fractured nation is to heal, if we are to move forward as a people united, then we must do whatever is necessary to bring about lasting change. "'Tis nothing, 'tis nothing." Lucia cautioned me against giving vent to my passions, lest my wounds reopen. It has not been easy reaching out to our opponents in Ishgard, many of whom sympathized with the actions of the true brothers. But in so doing, we have limited the influence of the zealots. The people are ready, my friend. This conference must go ahead. I knew you would understand. The conference will take place on the border of Ishgardian and Dravanian territory in Falcon's Nest. Lucia is there seeing to the final preparations even as we speak. Pray join her at your earliest convenience. It would not do for the guest of honor to arrive late, after all. Oh, and one more thing. A drink! We should make time for one. Once the conference is concluded, I mean. By my reckoning, 'tis long overdue.
First of all, his injury's still going, and that's interesting. Second of all, it feels like we're definitely trying to draw out Nidhogg, whether that's what they claim or not. What you looking at?
The Lord Commander said you would come, Meteor.
Yeah, he said you were expecting me and you wouldn't start without me, but also not to be late.
As you can see, preparations for the conference are proceeding apace. Mark well the curtain above.
What? Oh, yeah, look at that.
It conceals a relief that will be unveiled during the conference. The masons labor day and night to see it finished on schedule. Sir Aymeric wanted a symbol which would endure long after this conference is concluded. I think he will be pleased with the result. It was not my war, but I made it mine, and to see it draw closer to resolution fills me with a strange hope. His faith is infectious, is it not? Oh, his certainty that we can be better than we are. Forgive me, I am rambling. You must be tired from your journey. Go, rest. I will not keep you.
Sure. I'll be ready when you are. Okay, I think I'm rested.
Well, if you'd rather not take a rest, then why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest? Make your presence known to the people and so forth. In addition to those who have come from far and wide to attend this ceremony, you may meet Lords Artoirel and Emmeline, who have graciously volunteered their services. They should be glad to see you. Now, if you would excuse me, I must needs to return to my duties of staring upward.
Aren't you just gonna watch them? When I got here, you were just watching them. What was up here before? Nothing? Did it just look like this? Probably just looked like this. Can I land on that? No. Can I fly up through it? No. Interesting. Alright.
Do you know everything's set to begin? Oh, I wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought it best to come early and find a spot with a great view. When I heard that Sir Aymeric was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it. I mean, the man risked his own neck to rescue those hostages. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? Oh, and he's more than a fighter too. He's a thinker, he is. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things, and he'll do it, by the Fury. Oh, me and my friends and family, we all believe he can do it.
Bloody exciting, ain't it? Oh, not this just peace with dragons, but all them heretics besides. Don't misunderstand. We got our healthy fear of being paid to Dragonfire. That being said, the heretics did far more than hinder our efforts here in the past, so hearing that we're close to a reconciliation comes a great relief.
Perfect.
I'm glad to see that the rumors were true. Well met, Master Derplander. And fear not, I've no intentions of begging with your aids or this or that. Everything appears to be in order. My only lingering concern is that one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. As I recall, Vidofnir may pass directly over their encampment, and the last thing we need is a glory-seeking nobleman attempting to slay a Dravanian ambassador to a peace conference.
How much has changed since we fought alongside each other at the vault? If you had told me then that we would soon be hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you a naive fool. Yet, here we are, preparing to make that fantasy a reality. Here I am, laboring to make it so. Would you say it's a Final Fantasy?
because it's ending of a conflict. Lord Arturiel, if I may.
Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service?
Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. The majority were willing to do so, but a small party have instead pledged to engage any Dravanians bound for Falcon's Nest.
Oh, take me. They would defy Sir Emeric's commands. If they dare attack Vidofnir.
Oh, it will not come to that, but to see that it is not, we must needs hasten to their encampment. They should be far more reluctant to oppose us, were a lord of House Forton present.
I understand completely. Let us depart at once. But, ere we do, I must ask, would you look after Emilienne while I am away? As you know, he has ever been an impulsive, changeable child. But recently he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his spirits by having him assist with guard duty. A simple but honorable charge, unlikely to expose him to danger given the presence of so many other knights. Alas, he has taken no interest, and I fear he may abandon his post in my absence. All that I ask is that you keep an eye on him until I return, exhausting though that may be.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you, my friend. I promise we will not be long.
Hey, buddy. I'm rather busy at the moment, old boy. Guarding the tavern, as it were. Oh, I see now. Arturiel thought I might be derelict in my duties, eh? The nerve of my brother to question my dedication. But, since you're here, mayhap I can put you to proper use. The wasteland beyond the walls must be kept safe for travelers. Yet, I have been forbidden from leaving Falcon's Nest. It would do for our esteemed guests to be devoured by wolves, would it not? Oh, no, no, no. Yet that is precisely what will happen if we do not call the roaming packs. Your map, if I may. Right there. And those are the points our scouts marked for patrol. I'll leave it to you, old boy. Come on, Honoroy. I must return to my rounds. Oh dear, do be careful, my lord. Oh, okay. Let's go kill some wolves. There we go. Okay, I killed a bunch of wolves. Let's fly this whale. Let's fly this whale. Perfect. So, I'm mostly only active during stream, so it just depends on what I'm working on, if it's single player content or not. Meteor Daplander, Wolfsbane, it pleases me to inform you that I have completed my rounds, and that all is well in Falcon's Nest. Oh, and there was a grizzled fellow looking for you. You know, the one that made the arsonist confess. Oh, clever that. Where's Thancred? Thancred, was it? He was asking after you. Anyway, once I've noticed the garish weapons he was sporting, I deemed it a waste to leave him be. I dispatched him to an area I neglected to mark on your map. Yes, this one right here. If you hurry, he might still be there. Ah, Thancred, this is Thancred. Let's head out. I'm just saying, for the amount of experience, so to kind of finish on my point earlier, for the amount of experience that this is giving, this would really feel like busy work if you weren't, like, actively looking forward to what's about to happen. If Vidofnir coming and visiting is not a big deal to you, this is just downtime. Which Heavensward has not had that much of. So I would say, like, base Heavensward was phenomenally rewarding in every way. Lots of story, lots of mechanics, much better pacing. A lot less fetchy like this, where I'm literally being told by a highborn to go, like, slay some stuff that is well below my level. Keep in mind that, like, I'm here in this 50 area, and I'm supposed to be level 60. This is a level 60 quest. So there is nothing scary. I'm supposed to be in a level... And I can fly out here, because the game gives you flying after completing MSQ, not after completing patch content. So it's just flying out here and talking to people. Maybe you have to kill some base level 60 stuff, but there's nothing scary about being out here at all. So it's kind of odd. The story has leveled up, especially with Endwalker and Shadowbringer's knowledge. The story is at an all-time high. But the pacing of this stuff just feels really odd, mostly because there's very little reward from experience and gil.
Fancy meeting you here, Meteor. 'Twas fortunate I came when I did. These two would not have fared well against the wolves on their own. The young lord wasted no time in taking advantage of you, did he? And me, I suppose. Let us return to Falcon's Nest, and see whatever thrilling tasks he may have for us.
Alright. So it just feels like a stark contrast with how well... And maybe that's just as a new player experience, because that's what I'm experiencing right now, as opposed to a main player would have gone through 2 to 4 hours of this, and then would have gone back to traditional in-game content. Running dungeons every week, capping tomes, pushing in raids, savages, extremes, right? And so, like, this expansion had a ton of stuff to it that this character hasn't done. I should have already done the first wave of Alexander. I should have already had access to several extremes. So I think it's just kind of a weird spot that new players get pushed in right here. Where it's so heavily narrative focused. It feels like Heavensward as it was, the rest of the player base as it is, and a new player that's kind of in this kind of solo stretch here, where every 2 hours you run one 4-man and that's it. 4 hours more. It just feels oddly paced. The story is way better, though.
And there they are, a pair of gallant heroes if ever I saw them. Comrades in arms, reunited at last. By your selfless act, you have guaranteed the safety of our many guests. On behalf of Ishgard, I thank you both. And with that, there is naught left to do but enjoy our well-armed respite. We all did equal things, all equally.
I see that.
Oh, and this should of course go without saying, but let's keep those last few favors between us, yes? Artorial wouldn't understand. Right then, the first floor of those barracks has been converted into a tavern for the duration of the conference. Why don't you go? Have something to eat.
For once, a suggestion with which I'd agree. Go on ahead, Meteor. I will join you anon.
I didn't see you back there, bud.
Welcome, welcome. Find yourself an empty seat and I'll be with you in a moment. Cold out, isn't it? Here, a mug on the house. Let's get some colour back in them cheeks. Afraid food will be a bit longer than usual. We've got a lot of hungry folk to feed, what with the conference and all. Oh, so many people with cause to celebrate. To think there could be peace in our time, after all them years of fighting. When I heard about the conference, I knew I had to come. I knew I had to be here, to do my bit. My husband, he died fighting the dragons, you see. And here we are, about to break bread with him.
You were right, my friend. You look tired.
Reckon you could do with a good long rest? After all you've done, I'd say you've earned it. Sleep now. Sleep. Sleep and leave us to our affairs. This was never your fight.
My son. They told me he walks in Hallone's halls. Him and the rest of his unit.
They told me the same.
I expect they think it's comforting. Every time I come, I cry. I cannot bear to remember, but to forget would be 1,000 times worse. Yet that is what they would have us do. Accept this truth for the sake of peace. Bury the past and look to the future. But he was my future, my flesh and blood, my heart.
Is this it? We're the only ones with the courage to oppose this madness? Cowards, a lot of them.
They think only of the prize, of the peace Sir Emmerich promises them. They know in their hearts it's a lie, but they go along with it anyway, desperate fools. But not I. Not I! I see the worm that killed my brother in my dreams every night, and I will not rest until he lies broken at my feet. Him and every last one of his accursed kin.
All this nonsense about Kings of Eld, as if I care what they did or didn't do, makes no difference to me and mine. Have the dragons sued for peace in 1,000 years? Are they bollocks? It's a bloody ruse is what it is, and Sir Emmerich and the rest of them bloody fallen for it.
But what can we do? They believe, and naught we can say will ever change their minds. Whether we like it or not, man and dragon will come together at Vulcan's Nest, and all will be forgiven. Forgiven and forgotten.
No. I will not let that happen. They will remember the true face of the enemy. I will show it to them. And we will rise up against them once more.
Hey! Hey! This is no time for napping. Do you have your wits about you? Good. Come with me. We have a crisis on our hands.
Hear me, brothers and sisters. Oh, do not be fooled by the honeyed words of the Dravarnians. The peace they promise is but a prelude to slaughter. Remember your husbands and wives never returned from war. Your children torn apart by fang and claw. All your loved ones shown no mercy. Does not your heart cry out for vengeance? Your blood boil at the injustice? Remember the face of your enemy, brothers and sisters. Remember it, and strike back!
You there! Don't just stand around gawping! Do something, man! Stop her!
He hasn't been voiced very much. That's a big shift.
Yes, my lord!
See? See here the true nature of the Highborn! With lies and deception they lead us to our doom! And dare we raise our voices in dissent? Death is our reward! This is the choice they have given us, brothers and sisters! Death by dragon's fang, or death by nobleman's command! Death to all we hold dear! I spit on your choices, noblemen! You will take no more from me! No more! No more!
What have you done? I only did as you ordered, my lord.
Oh, you made a real mess.
I gave no such order. I did not. I never meant for anyone to...
Oh, no. You've made a huge mess. Oh, man. That got nasty.
I dare say that could not have played out any worse, given that the first commander and Lord Artorial were not here to take control of the situation. I spoke with the messenger who said they would be returning shortly, but until they do, naught will be done. Lord Emiliane has retreated to the barracks and is refusing to speak with anyone. Therefore, it falls to us to ensure the order has been fully restored. Come, let us walk the streets and speak with the people.
We have made a real mess here, guys.
My wife and I fell cry while fleeing the others at first, but your urchins tended to our bruises afterwards. Those mad fools have ruined everything, and for what?
These are good questions. This is bad news bears all the way around. What do you think is going on, bud? You want to talk to me? All right.
I'd heard rumors that the young lord was a drunken fool. What imbecile thought it would be a good idea to let him have the run of Falcon's Nest? Well, I say him and Sir Aymeric take their bloody change and shove it up their arses. I'll not be taken in by that rot again.
Well, that's bad.
They were wrong to resort to violence, but when I heard her speak, her words were as a dagger in my heart. Who are we to decide that enough is enough? That their calls for justice can never be answered? Will this be the end of it? Or will there be others like them and the true brothers? I do not want to bear steel against my kinsmen ever again. I do not know if I even can.
Well, this is getting really screwed up really fast. Alright, Thancred. Here we go. Well, what say you? I think people are really angry, and I think they have the right to be.
The violence is past, but the people are far from recovered. That is to be expected. For the moment, it appears that no innocents were harmed by the guards. The blame for all casualties can be placed squarely upon the protesters. Nevertheless, the people will not soon forget the image of a young lordling ordering the public execution of an unarmed protester, one whose words resonated with the hearts of many. After all, who among us has not lost loved ones?
Oh, man. He made a real mess of that. He made a real mess. I don't know where you go from here. Because now you're not going to have a discussion or anything anymore, because everybody's going to have picked a side and be afraid that if they try to have a communication, they're going to get shot. Oh my gosh. Alright. So the next quest is consequences, and they're starting to grant gear, which is a sign we're moving right along.